Welcome to April's Garage, the greatest automotive channel in all of YouTube land. And we are at Barrett-Jackson in West Palm Beach. And I have to show you this car. Tyler, get over here.
We're going to show you a bunch of cars selling on Super Saturday, but we thought we'd start with the one that's really catching our eye the most. It's our friend Paul Tuttle's Lincoln Zephyr.
It is so gorgeous. Not like normally he builds bikes, like over-the-top bikes.
Yes.
But this is very beautiful, understated, gorgeous, and like normally the fenders, they kind of go at a 90-degree angle right here, and he just continued it all the way back through the body.
Right.
It is just over the top. And of course, this little fin right here, he added by the split window, which kind of looks like the Bugatti Atlantique, which is one of my favorite cars in the entire world.
It is beautiful. Fender skirts added, the interior stunning as well. And unlike a lot of these that are hot rodded, even though you can't call this one a hot rod because it's really just been reimagined, the flathead 12-cylinder is retained and it is stunning. So I'm not sure if you ever caught a show back in the day. I'm sure you did, where it was a very dysfunctional family where they're yelling at each other, throwing chairs, screaming. It's a meme now. I actually made a meme of this at Barrett-Jackson. So,
well, and you were saying like the fender skirts, they weren't on during the transport. And Total freaked out about
Well, he didn't freak out, but it was like, oh, wow, it's just like the show. Not really. I mean, it's understandable because he didn't need to take the fender skirts off. But and it looks a lot better with it on. So we didn't need to reshoot everything with that fender skirt on. But yeah, it's riding on air, and the presentation's just absolutely unreal. So cool. Customs is usually the name at Barrett-Jackson, and there's crazy selections. So 71 Camaro, and that would have been the one with the split bumper, as you can see, but this one's inset quite a bit. They call this one the Ultimate Camaro 598 because of the engine, all aluminum, 800 horsepower, 598 cubic inch V8. And yeah, the cowl hood's popping, interior's nuts.
Look at those seats. I haven't seen those. That's like living room furniture. We need that in our Arizona house. Those seats are so comfortable.
And of
65 Corvette Resto Mod.
These always do well. We'll see what this one brings. But yeah, LS under the hood, very nicely dressed up.
Glasserat Gray. That's the name of the color.
Wow.
C2 is my favorite year. Well, my favorite generation.
They resisted the temptation to do the big bump hood, as far as like the Stinger hood for the 67s, which personally I like.
Sure, they shaved off the Chevy cross flags. This is actually, wait, come see. They 3D printed the center console for this car. Should I open it? I don't want to touch the car. Remember, I'm a little too touchy. That's actually 3D printed. Isn't that wild?
Interesting.
It's gorgeous. I love the aircraft style doors, how they cut into the roof.
Yep.
It is beautiful.
The AMX, they had a bit of fun. You see the Hellcat Hemi sort of bump there in the hood. And I do believe that's because what they did, a supercharged 392 Hemi on this thing with a two-tone paint job. So pretty wild there. Look at the AMX pinstripe with the Hellcat in there. Very neat. But here's an incredible restoration.
It's the big dog, baby.
Factory Carolina blue, which was like a one-state only color in North Carolina.
I just touched it again. Rare. I need to not. I can't help it.
This one is an LS6 454 with a stunning restoration. So yeah, 450 horsepower. This is the big dog for the best year of the Chevelle. And
I opened
the block. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's not a numbers matching car, but they found a correct period, 454, and just did an over-the-top restoration. So this is a little different than the Scottsdale Salon because we're in Palm Beach, so things are a little, spread out and in the fairgrounds with the vendors and things.
Right.
And, a little swampy.
It's gorgeous. It's very swamp-assy. Can I say that? Is that a thing?
Yep. So there's not one, but two Shelby Series 1s, which Carroll Shelby, he got around. He went from Ford, went to Chrysler, and then he built his own car with an Oldsmobile engine. But this is his only car that he sort of engineered from the ground up. And they are very cool.
And there are mattresses and massage chairs. If you're tired or need a massage as well, a little bit of everything.
Keep going to the custom truck row, which some pretty cool stuff here. Hood opening the wrong way on this Ford truck to present the Coyote motor and paint.
That's really pretty. There's like a rose gold flake in it.
Right?
It's gorgeous.
So she is a 1956 F100, but I mean, dramatically customized. The interior just out of this world,
I wouldn't want to drive it. I'd be so nervous. Like, look at the truck bed. You don't want to put anything back there.
You don't put anything in that truck bed, most certainly. Yeah.
This one's the same.
Yeah, they're in the middle of detailing it up, but that perfect stance on this C10 and supercharged LT4 under the hood. So, yeah, C7 Corvette, Z06 power.
Can you imagine, like, the person that bought this new, and if they saw it now, they'd be like, what's wrong with you guys? Like, aliens landed on the planet and redid it.
Right.
Because you could never imagine this back in the day.
And the baby Broncos.
Gorgeous.
Nice cup.
Look at that.
Baby Broncos, always a fixture at Barrett-Jackson.
I love these kind of warm gold rims right there. That's really, really pretty.
And you are spoiled for choice. So blue's not your color, which is the sort of like the classic, I think, that Brittany blue that you would have got in old Chevys back in the day.
You think that's Brittany blue?
Kind of a variation of it.
Like, these mixed together would make Brittany blue, maybe.
Silver metallic or gold or sort of a bronze. I guess I'm kind of colorblind, but engine choice is always interesting to see what they go with. So this one has a Ford Racing Freight motor. Same here. And the other one is Coyote powered, similar to the Ford truck. So interesting. We end with the K5 Blazers, which are also a fixture at every Barrett-Jackson as far as the customs. This one LS powered.
Oh, I need this in my life.
And I like that they kept the vintage, the high trim interior. Open the door so we can see it.
I'm touching it.
That's fine.
You're gonna get me in trouble.
See, they kept the vinyl stamped seats, but added a center console. Very, very cool.
This would look really pretty next to the Grand National, don't you think? Yes.
You're spending all your money on that house.
Stop it. I didn't want to slam it. Don't watch.
Anyway, moving on. The Barrett-Jackson isn't just a car auction, it's a lifestyle event. So there's lots of vendors out here selling things. There's even a crazy train setup in here.
Aww. This is so cool. I feel like this is a lost art that people aren't really into as much anymore, so I'm glad it's here.
Yes. And you can get your frosted lemonade.
Felicity's frosted lemonade.
While you're looking through more salon cars. This is very different than Scottsdale, where everything's sort of all in one place and, you know, presented in like it's a vintage auto salon or something like that. This is more casual, this event. Most definitely. So custom Mustang. Boy, this one Roush supercharged. Looks like a 5.4 liter from a modern GT 500, but all the Roush bits on it. And this one, the Eleanor treatment, but what I like about it is it's maroon. It's not the pepper gray.
Right,
except,
so
I guess maybe the stripe is.
So is it going to bring more because it's a little different? I don't know. We'll find out.
Because the traditional Eleanor, which that is much more like it, except they kind of did the Boss hood on it.
Right.
But the
you got your little baby bird over there.
Yeah.
It's really cute and a cream. I love the look of these. The headlights kind of look like they're Frenched in. It's really cool, kind of hash mark detailing on the side. And that little vent opens up to give you air in the cabin. And that fins kind of melting in back there. It's really pretty. Last
year of the baby bird. But then modern ZL1 Camaro, which sad the Camaro's out of production. We'll see how it comes back as. But this one apparently was Rob Ferretti's Supra. Rob Ferretti's a YouTuber.
Yeah.
He has a car rental agency in New York. We call him Mr. Spaghetti.
Okay.
He's kind of Italian in New York.
Spaghetti.
So,
Freddy Spaghetti.
This was his old Mark IV Supra. And it's a turbo. It's all factory. So we'll see what it brings. He probably sold it for a lot less than what it's going to bring today, because they've gone up a lot. 1,000 horsepower Yanko Camaro, and the C7 ZR1, so the last front engine ZR1 with all the wing on the back. Holy smokes.
That's cool.
But now we're in the really fancy part. So
we need to act appropriately now.
How about Ferrari Row? Which one would you have of the three? You have two SF90s, and you have one 296.
I'm going with the darker SF90. Understated. I don't want to show off too much because I already have like the big man arm charm showing off, and so it's like I don't want to be too over the top, right?
Well, I mean, this one's really, really neat because it is the SF90 Stradale, and the spec is pretty loud and wild, but I'm starting to warm up to the 296, to be honest, even though it is now a V6 twin turbo, but it just looks classic Ferrari to me. It looks like a continuation of sort of the 430, where it was a little blobby and kind of skipping the 458 and 488.
Can you say blobby? Is that me?
Well, I don't know. I'm just starting to warm up to it.
Right.
Yes.
It's very cool.
And the Pantera is very neat. It's 1986. We're kind of getting towards the end of the Pantera.
Is it just me, or the values kind of creeping up on the Pantera?
It's not just you.
Okay.
It's definitely creeping up. And there's Jake. He got hired.
Hi.
At Barrett-Jackson.
Oh, yeah,
I'm official.
He's working.
Yeah. I'm like your coworker now, which is weird.
Yep. Going down the row. There's Nick. Oh, no, he doesn't want to be on camera. There's Cameron.
Hi, Cameron.
There's Adam Ferrara.
Adam Ferrara.
Morning, kids. How are you, baby?
We're doing our YouTube tour.
YouTube tour?
Yes. It's
How
amazing.
was your
It's been
week
great to have him.
then at Barrett-Jackson?
Been good. There's been a lot of unrequited affection.
Oh,
Right, I know. We need to overcompensate now.
yeah. It's really sweet.
Yeah,
That was a
it's
nice
good. No, a
moment.
lot of fun. What did you see? You see all the you see Stradale? You see?
Yes, we're working our way through the big Saturday cars, which I assume you are too.
Yes.
Okay.
It's gonna be fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I get to throw the Hellcat around later.
Okay.
That's good.
You go Hellcat hunting, I heard.
Hellcat.
Yes.
It's gonna be good.
It's gorgeous.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
it's good.
we'll leave you to work and crack the whip on Jake, just.
He's drinking again.
Oh, really? All right. So this is Murcielago that's been given a Liberty Walk wide body kit on it and a gated manual conversion. And it's a 640. So if this were a factory gated 640 with low miles, it'd be $1 million car. But it's a conversion.
Right.
And the wide body kit, certainly cool in its day. We'll see what people think of it.
It's cool.
I
It's
think
got
they
like
did
the
a good
bat
job.
wings. Don't they move back and forth? And the big wang gang.
Yes.
It's part of it now.
Yep. And this, well, it looks like a normal Denali, but it's not. It's armored. It's been completely armor piercing, reinforced with the glass. Here, let's go under and see what the door and the window looks like. See if it opens.
You want?
Yeah,
you
go
want-
ahead. I don't have arms because I have to do the audio in one hand.
I'm
Okay,
just going to
go
see if
ahead.
anyone's
See.
watching. Well, that's
really
really
heavy?
heavy.
Yeah, that glass.
Wow.
Tap on that glass. It is
Yeah.
really
Can you hear
thick.
that? Wow.
So they've armored the floors, they armored the fuel tank, all the panels. Yeah, look at the extra bolts and fasteners to do this. This is very, very extremely expensive to do.
Is this tornado proof?
It'd be a good tornado intercept vehicle, I think. That's a
Okay.
good secondary use, but most
Right.
likely someone who wants to remain safe.
Yeah. Listen to the door slam. Let's hear that.
Jeez. Okay. Well, let's get through the rest of the cars before April gets fired, right?
Oh, that's great. Look at the exhaust on the back
Yeah.
there. That is beautiful.
And then, yeah, we get to the fun stuff over here as well. Ford GT in blue with a silver stripe.
Oh, the Testarossa. You just sold your Testarossa. I don't mean to bring it up.
Well, this one's sort of a Testarossa. It's technically a 512M, but it is the Testarossa body towards the end of the line. Big bump in horsepower. This one went to a custom coach work and got a conversion done to it to make it a Spider. And it reminds me of a little outrun game in the
Yeah.
arcade, except it was red and they had to hop onto the passenger seat as they're racing down the beach, in the
Aha.
arcade. But yeah, very cool thing there. Aventador Roadster. The panels are sort of like T-tops. They come off on either side. But yep, Aventador 993 Turbo, the last of the air-cooled Porsche turbos.
Yummy, yummy,
And
yummy.
then more Porsche royalty, a GT3 RS, which many think is
Whoa.
the best driving Porsche of all time. As
Whoa.
far as the feeling, the manual transmission, all that stuff. And then this is making me really sad because it is an SLS AMG in the same color as the one I had in the Designo Mystic White.
Right.
563 horsepower, 6.2 V8s. And it actually sold on Friday for, I think, $180,000. I guess Jake will put it in the caption of what it sold for. So that's the
Yeah.
only one that's already sold. But
Yeah. 2017 Brabus.
Yeah.
Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, baby.
Yep, Brabus decided to add the extra axle and all of their carbon fiber bling, and it
That's
is,
cool.
yeah, the carbon fiber snorkel, and it is ridiculous. It is perfect for Palm Beach if you're wanting to get noticed, Ocean Avenue, Miami, or wherever else. Yeah, so they brought it to the right place. We'll see what it brings. Of course, Jake has gone through and put his captions on what everything has sold for, but we don't know. So I guess we'll pick this up back in the studio once we've recovered from Super Saturday and talk about what we thought of the auction.
Yes. Oh, I see your friend.
Yo!
We are finally back. Tyler slept for 14 hours
After
yesterday.
the auction, yes, because I had sleep issues, so I caught up. It was amazing.
Good. You needed it. You needed to recover.
And it was a fun auction. I bought 2 hoopties you know about and one more that's coming soon. So.
Well, it's fun because I do this little treasure hunt after every day of the auction. I'm like, show me your pockets, show me your papers.
Because, if you win the auction, you get a yellow sheet of paper saying, go to the office and pay,
right,
sucker.
And so I have to go in and dig in your pockets to see what trouble you got into. 2
on Thursday, 2 BMWs, and 1 on Friday that you'll see at some point, I suppose.
Yeah, and all the guys were drooling over this one. Okay, you'll see it.
Well, I already put the video out, so they can, the Imola red, or Imola, how am I supposed to say it, Jake? Imola. I thought I was saying it correctly. It's somewhere in Italy, red BMW 740i Sport, but a lot of the comments are saying I said it very redneck, like Imola, like Ebola or something, I'm not sure.
A mole.
So, what'd you think of Palm Beach?
It was good. I was sick coming in it. I had a allergy, sinus infection, but it's wild because the drugs that I got at the Minute Clinic, like they heal you so fast. I'm like, why didn't I go sooner? Why am I struggling through this? And I had a
steroids
fever.
and antibiotics, and she was roid raging on. Yep, very. No, not really. But
yeah, it was fun.
The auction was interesting. Obviously, there's a new economic uncertainty that we haven't experienced recently. That was certainly there. You could feel it as far as certain types of cars, and I wouldn't say it was bad or better. I would say that the buyers are now more picky.
Sure.
Like what we've seen at other auctions. Right. If it was the right car, the right spec of custom, or the right kind of classic or muscle car or whatever, still brought all of the money. But the stuff sort of in between, which would bring in those sort of middle buyers, You're
talking about like custom stuff or just anything?
Just anything. Like the middle of the road kind of cars, or the customs that have sort of different things. The stuff that would attract sort of a upper middle sort of style buyer, it was tougher. Right. It was definitely tougher for that type of car, I felt like.
Right.
At least with this auction. But the big stuff still did amazing. There's like a 8,000 mile SLS AMG that was knocking on the door of $200,000, the same color as mine. I sold mine for way less than that.
So are you mad? Does that like kind of kick you in the gut a little bit?
Mine had almost 40,000 miles on it, so it not quite the same. But I do miss the car a lot. There was the 200-mile Ford GT in lightning blue.
Right, it was beautiful.
And yeah, stunning, and that was, think about $900,000 with fees, which is a lot. Of course, Ford GTs used to be $1 million no matter what. They've come down to earth quite a bit, but still this one, not a Carbon Series, not a Heritage or whatever,
Special
but
edition,
still brought almost $1 million.
What was your highlight for the week, would you say?
The cars that I really liked, like Paul Tuttle's Zephyr in person was stunning. I think you probably feel the same way,
yeah,
right?
Oh, I love that car. Yeah, he did a lot of work to it, but not too much. Like it wasn't over the top, but he kind of finished it like I feel like the Zephyr should have been finished back in the day. He made some really good choices when it comes to customization. It's like you could kind of choose something that looks a little weird or awkward, and it all looked correct, if that makes sense.
Yes. But the normal Thursday, Friday cars, it's all in my wheelhouse, all the things I love. It's where I feel like I am needed at Barrett-Jackson.
They were so happy. Mike Joy and Rick DeBrule were like, we're so glad Tyler's here to talk about these hoopties.
Because I feel dumb like with them, because I'll never know anything about the 60s and 70s cars that they grew up with and love, and know all the year-to-year stuff. I mean, I've learned a lot about Corvettes, having so many, and I have my 62 right now, so I got Corvettes pretty well nailed down, and just hanging out with Elliot Albus, who that's all I want to talk about. But a lot of the muscle car stuff I'm stuck on. But yeah, when it's 12 Bentley Continental GTs and Maserati Gran Turismos and Mercedes SLs and all different kinds of 15 to 30-year-old German cars and Italian cars, I'm like in my happy zone. And that is so Palm Beach. And what was your favorite car?
My favorite car, I mean the Zephyr, I think, hands down. That was gorgeous. You don't see them a lot, and obviously you don't see them in really good condition like Paul did to it. So that was neat to see.
$200,000 for that. $400 and something thousand for the Miami Vice boat, which was crazy.
That's wild.
I know. It goes 130 miles per hour on water, which is nuts. It was in the 2006 Miami Vice film. And like twin supercharged 700 horsepower engines. pretty nuts.
All I think about when I see those boats, because there's so many viral videos of them getting air and flipping and like those long cigarette boats, and like that's all I see is like, oh no, that's look dangerous.
And we didn't go outside to see Sam Hard's cars, the Range Rovers
the Fast and Furious
Hobbs
cars.
and Shaw.
I saw them. I hung out with Sam.
Right, but we didn't in our walk around video. We didn't do that, and they sold for I think $30-something thousand, and he paid $15 for all of them. So he doubled up. So he was very happy.
Right. I thought they were going to go for more, the three of them, but what do I know?
And there was one, like it was a 61, 62 Corvette. I think it was 62 like mine, except it was like baby blue, restored over the top.
I saw that.
It had no business being as nicely restored as it was for like a 61 or 2 Corvette.
Right.
And it brought huge money. Like I think it was $200,000.
Is that giving you ideas for yours?
Well, it was gorgeous. So yeah, the Corvettes, there were a lot of first generation Corvettes. Then there were some other Corvettes. There was one Corvette that sold for charity, right? And you were helpful with the charity.
Yeah,
with,
I was the 2025
with the Steelers player, right?
Z06, VIN number 1. Yeah, Jerome Bettis, who plays for the Steelers. And I go to interview, and I'm doing a live interview, and like it happens. I said that he played for the Saints.
Well, of course it's the Steelers.
Oh my gosh, you guys!
No. All the guys in the comments would know. Of course, I had no idea.
Not in the comments. The guy. So we wear these things. They're called IFBs, and so we can hear the broadcast. So I can talk to Rick and Tyler and everyone, remotely in my ear, and all the guys in the truck that are watching the directors and producers can talk to us too at any time. So as I'm saying, Jerome Bettis, Hall of Famer with the Saints, they are all screaming in my ear as I'm live on TV. They're like, no, Steelers, no.
But he didn't correct you.
And that's the weird thing is he was such a gentleman. He just let it slide, didn't even crack a smile. He didn't even give a weird, like, awkward body gesture. I corrected myself in a joke, and I'm like, yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Please, I don't know what I'm talking about. And he's laughing, of course. Like, he should have slapped me is what should have happened. But that's live TV, so who knows? Some guy might clip that.
Your screaming chicken
call
moment
me an idiot.
So the other auction where she talked about the screaming chicken, breathing fire, and all that stuff, and then they went viral for people saying, "What is she talking about?" And it's because like people don't know that they call it the screaming chicken back in the day. So that's her Palm Beach moment that she's kicking herself for. Meanwhile, I made several mistakes, I'm sure, throughout the auction that I got corrected by Mike or someone else, and because I'm a dude, it doesn't matter.
Well, and that's, on that note, because you're a guy, it's like when Tyler does say something a little off or wrong or weird, it's Tyler's an idiot. But when I do, it's women are stupid. Women need to stay in the kitchen. Women should be making sandwiches. All women. And so I feel like I have this little added pressure.
That's why, and she works so hard prepping for that reason.
I have to be correct because I'm speaking on behalf of women still. Maybe one day, we won't be looked at on that kind of a light, but right now that's why I do over prep and over worry or have a little anxiety to make sure that I am correct about what I'm saying because I don't want to perpetuate women being idiots in the industry.
Well, because I didn't know the certain trim package of Camaro came with a taller spoiler, so I thought it was an aftermarket spoiler, and Mike Joy corrected me on a Camaro from the 80s or something like that. And I didn't know. It looks like an aftermarket spoiler. I'm like, oh no, Mike, Tyler, that's
But he didn't call you an idiot.
No,
Did he tell you to stay in the kitchen making
some
pancakes?
He did not. I remember that one. And I think there was one other little thing that it wasn't. It wasn't. But obviously, there's 600 cars, and we're talking about 3/4 of them live on air. So there's going to be sometimes there's things a little bit wrong all around with everybody.
Yeah, I was talking about the first year Viper. They're all red. 92, right, or 93. And the pipe, you get a Viper bite with the side pipes, right? And I don't know why. I just said it bites you like electric, but I was thinking it was like a jolt. But then I'm like, oh no, people are going to think that I think these side pipes are electric or something.
Well, and I assumed the other Viper that was there with the yellow wheels had side pipes, and I walked to the side. It's like, where's the side pipes? And I was like, oh, it's out the back on this one. So somebody, like it's this 96 Viper with yellow wheels, whatever.
Mustard special.
Somebody wanted the exhaust out the back, and I'm not sure if Dodge didn't do any out the back. So I think somebody might have modified it. I'm not sure. So Anyway, stuff happens.
Right.
It was a solid Palm Beach, a lot of great results, and I do feel like, similar to other auctions that we've been watching recently, it's just buyers are a bit more picky.
Sure.
But there were tons of bidders there. It was like the most amount of bidders registered they ever had, apparently, for a Palm Beach. So there was a lot of people there.
Right.
And I would say it's a a big success. I mean, people didn't know what was going to happen as far as the expectations going in with the economy being so crazy, and I think it was really good considering the climate.
No, absolutely. And speaking of climate, it's getting hot in here. We need to turn the AC on. Thanks so much for watching.
Oh, I thought she was talking about something else. Darn.
Will you take your shirt off?
Nobody wants to see that.
AC.
From the last thumbnail in your video, they clearly want to see you with your shirt off because that was the most highest click-through rate we've ever had.
I didn't have my shirt off. I was wearing a bikini.
Which, hey, we'll throw a few pictures.
Wait, did you do double finger?
I don't know. No, never
finger
mind.
guns?
No, in the video. Okay, we'll throw pictures in on another day.